It's one of those things where small airports can and could be a big issue.
This week, we learned that a tentative deal between WestJet and the union representing its pilots likely includes a provision to fully integrate Swoop into WestJet by October of 2024. The company has declined to comment, citing the fact that the agreement is tentative and hasn't been ratified. The development, while obviously relevant to travelers, is a big deal to the 13 Canadian airports that welcome the airline, most of them smaller operations welcoming a handful of carriers.
Swoop, if it gets wound into WestJet, we all can look and say, okay, that's going to be something that the consumer is interested in. On the flip side of that, the airports that maybe Swoop is one of 4 airlines going there, this is a big deal for them, isn't it?
It is. Generally, in the short term, there's not a whole lot of change. But what happens is the parent airline or the airline that's getting merged into starts looking at the profitability of the routes. And over time, what you'll see is eventually those smaller routes and the less profitable routes start to get eliminated.
Some of these airports, they spend a decade trying to lure an airline, and it's a huge deal when they come in. When that's lost, we're talking about a 10, 20 year sort of setback. How deep is this?
Well, you're basically looking at a 5-10 year setback.
In a written reply to CityNews, Hamilton International Airport saying they're aware of and continue to monitor the results of the tentative agreement between the WestJet Group and ALPA. Hamilton International is an economic engine and has a very diversified portfolio of cargo and passenger operations. On the flip side, Smith telling us this development might become a big advantage to the medium-sized airports with higher traffic.
If they see a growth market potential, they have more, they can bring a bigger plane. Like WestJet has bigger planes than Swoop does, or they could bring more frequent service, or they could do things in a growth market potential. So if you have growth potential and you have a population growth in your area and you have stuff like that, and you're a strong secondary airport, you can do really, really well.
Sort of to clarify, for the airports that are in growing areas and they're growing and they're an obvious growth market, there's an opportunity here for Swoop instead of having Swoop simply fall off the radar, leaving a void, WestJet may say, we're just going to send the big planes and have a strong West.
And we're going to send more flights and we're going to invest in this market.
We did also hear back from Halifax International, also in writing, telling us since 2018 we have welcomed several new airlines, including ultra-low-cost carriers like Swoop, Flair, and Lynx. Although we advocate for more air service offerings, we understand that the pandemic has affected all our partners, including the airlines, and resource-related challenges persist. At Hamilton International Airport, David Zura, City News.